Something I already know about you is that you are already a powerful manifester. And you might not believe me when I say that, but trust me, I know. Because manifestation, despite what you might have learned about it, is not a specific tool or something that you need to try to do, that you need to work hard on. Manifestation is a universal law. You are already manifesting results into your life. Where you might feel like you're going wrong right now is you're not getting the specific results that you want. Manifestation isn't working for you in the way you want it to. You might even be manifesting things that you don't want and experiences that are really frustrating you, like procrastination, self-sabotage, lack of progress, this stop start, so you're never really feeling like you're gaining traction and moving forward. The other thing is you are letting fear and self-doubt stop you from really focusing your energy on the things you want to manifest, on the dream life you want to create for yourself. Part of you tells you it's not possible, that you need to be more realistic, that you need to dilute your dreams and goals to fit into a mold. And that simply is not true. Next Level You is the group program for you if you want to really step into the limitless, magnetic woman you are here to be in the world. You will be taken through over 10 weeks, my 6-step manifestation process to guide you with replicable, actionable tools, fluff free, but oh so deep into not just manifestation, but the mindset and healing work, because ultimately manifestation is an inside out job. So if that sounds like something that you know is going to unlock magic within you, please check out the show notes. I would love to have you in there. This is our last intake of this year, so please don't miss out. Check it out. And if you want to get on a call, if you want to DM me your questions, reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, or email. All of those will be linked in the show notes, and I'll see you in Next Level You. Welcome back to the podcast. Spring has officially sprung in the UK this week. It is so sunny. It's actually so nice to record the podcast without a ring light because it's super bright and gorgeous outside today. I want to talk to you about sacrifice, hard work, burnout, hustle when it comes to your goals, because I know right now you're in the right place listening to this episode. If there's a part of you that is telling you inside of yourself that if you just work harder, if you just weren't lazy, if you just stopped procrastinating and you just worked harder and you just worked more and you just took action and you could just get motivated, that everything would work out, that what you are manifesting, the goals that you are creating, the success you desire right now would just happen for you like that. And you're in the right place if you feel that way. I want you to know I used to feel that way. And today we're going to talk about why that isn't the case. And actually why burnout, sacrifice, and hustle is not a requirement when it comes to manifesting your dream life. You do not have to sacrifice yourself for the life you want to live, for the business you want to run, for the relationship you want to have, for the money you want to earn, for the job role, the promotion, the travel you want to have in your life. You do not have to give all of yourself and burn out and feel like shit in order to get there. You do not. And I understand why part of you feels that way, because I've been there too. And I want to talk about a big upper limit issue that I had. And when I say upper limit, I want you to picture a ceiling that your mind has placed upon you. I can have this much, but not that much. So when you reach that ceiling, it's like if you were to be in a really tiny house with a really low ceiling, your head would be pushing up against the ceiling, right? It would be really uncomfortable. That's what's happening if you have had conditioning around working hard when it comes to breaking through to your next level. Because if you are in a plateau with your growth right now, if you've not made progress with your goals over the past few months, or at least to the level of progress that you want to make, you might be telling yourself, if I could just work harder, then I just need to push through, I just need to break through in that way. And that is actually a lie that your mind is telling you in order to keep you safe, in order to keep you stuck. Because when you think about it, our whole society in the Western world is, we pedestalize, we put working hard on a pedestal. And now, don't get me wrong, I love working. I'm a very hard worker. I have a strong work ethic. I really honour not just the deep inner work, which is 95% of what we do inside of Next Level You, inside of my one-to-one work. I not only honour that, I also ultimately honour that 5% that is like, right, come on, let's move forward now, let's take action. Because without that, the 100% end result, we're not going to get there. We need to back up all this mindset and energy work we're doing with taking action. And many people get stuck in doing tons of inner work, tons of personal development, and never get over the line of actually living that in their day-to-day life, of taking the necessary action steps to move forward with their goals. They just spend a lot of time at home thinking about their goals and making plans, or doing tons of work on their beliefs because they know they have limiting beliefs with that goal. But if you don't also then put yourself out there in the world and put yourself forward for that opportunity, or speak to people about it, ask for help, invest in yourself, take action. This is the necessary last step of the journey that we all must take. I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say this, because this is for the people on the other side of the spectrum, where you're like me, you love working and you're a hard worker. You understand that in order to create success in your life, you do need to work hard. There is going to be work involved. There is going to be action involved. But where you're going wrong right now is you're lying to yourself that in order to get there, in order to get to the next level, I just need to do more. I just need to hustle. I just need to sacrifice. I just need to burn myself out and push through. And you don't. And I want to illustrate this with a really just grounding and perspective shifting example, because this really illustrates the conditioning that we have around success and hard work. Think about the people you know who work so hard and do so much and are so busy, but ultimately still struggle. Ultimately still, they're not quite where they want to be. They're never quite satisfied with where they're at. There could be a person who works a minimum wage job and works every hour under the sun. That person is working really hard. But again, they still aren't seeing the results that they want in their life. They're still not where they want to be, either in their career or financially or whatever it might be, in the house they want to live in, whatever. Hard work alone is not it. No matter how much you work, working more and working harder doesn't always equate to better results. Because there are people in the world who work, like I said, every hour under the sun. You know, some of the people who I've known in my life who struggle financially are some of the most hardworking people I know. They work literally they could work every hour under the sun. Hard work is not the number one thing that's going to make the difference between you manifesting your goal and you not quite getting there. So what is going to help you get there? Because I know it's not sacrifice. I know it's not hustle. I know it's not burnout. It's this subtle shift in your mindset and your energy. Because the truth is, if you are already doing the things you know you need to do, but you're not creating the result that you want. Let's say you're already putting yourself out there for tons of interviews. You're already promoting your business on social media. You've got your goals in place. You know where you're headed. You have a savings plan for your dream trip. Whatever it is that you are creating in your life right now, you are already doing the things that you know you need to do. Because that's the first thing. Because if in your heart of hearts that isn't happening, then I think what I'm going to say next is going to help you uncover some of that. But I would say listen to my episode on self-sabotage, because there could be something blocking you. I'm talking to the people who know they are already working really hard, but something isn't quite right. Or I'm almost like pre-warning the people who think that in order to get to where they want to get to, they're going to have to work really hard to the point of burnout and like being a puddle on the floor. If you're already taking those necessary actions, if we think that, let's look at the fact that that is the 5%, then that means that there's something invisible, something underlying, something unconscious that is happening that is ultimately blocking that result from happening. Because if the action and just the hard work alone was enough, you would already have it. You would have already manifested it. But it's something unconscious, something underlying. And I can't diagnose, I can't tell you in this episode what that is. But I can tell you some of the things it could be. Because if you're already working hard, then if you're not getting the result you want, then we need to ultimately look at not just what you are doing, but how you are doing it and who you are being when you do it. So those might be 2 prompts to just sit and reflect on, because let's look at how you are doing it. How you are doing it includes the energy and the attitude that you pour into that action step. Because one person can be applying for every single job under the sun that they come across and be really taking the time to be intentional with their application. How do I want to approach this? What is my intention? If I was to get this role, how would that look? What would that feel like? Who would I be in this company? What is this role? What are the job responsibilities? And that person could pour this intention and conscious energy and attitude into that application. And they could show up to that interview really having taken time to prepare themselves. Not just physically preparing for what they're going to say, but preparing themselves in their energy, in their emotions, in their mindset, setting themselves up for success. That's how they're doing it. Another person could apply for the same job, even with the same experience, even as a similar candidate who is qualified for the role, who has the right experience. But that person could rush it and chuck it together in 5-10 minutes and just quickly copy and paste what they've put into another application, send it off they go. Equally, they might show up for the interview and they might be rushing around. They might have had a really hectic morning. They might not have taken time for themselves. They were late getting out of bed. They didn't have time to take the time to mentally, emotionally, energetically prepare themselves for this interview. They could be the best candidate in the world on paper, but if those invisible underlying elements of their energy, their attitude, how they present themselves, those are all the things of not just what they're doing, but how they're doing it. And you can see in that example how that first person is going to feel going into that interview, and therefore the outcome that it's gonna look very different for them versus the person who wasn't able to take that intentional time for themselves. So how you're doing it is really important to look at. The other part is who you are being. And this is something we cover in depth inside of Next Level You, because I always say this is a mindset and manifestation program. It's a 10-week course. I take you through my 6-step manifestation process, the art and the science of manifestation. Honestly, like 10 plus years of toolkit full of stuff to be like, right, this is how you use the universal law of manifestation to attract anything and everything you want into your life. Of course we cover that, of course we go through that. A big part of my underlying philosophy is that who you are being is ultimately creating the results that you are attracting into your life. Because how you are doing it, like I just said, is really important. And that's something we can change, like from right this second. You can start showing up in your day differently from now after listening to this podcast. Someone could go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should mentally, physically, energetically prepare myself for that next interview or that next date or that next client call or whatever it may be. But who you are being is the long-term, long-lasting, irreversible shifts and growth that we've created within you. That is where the real magnetism lies. Because who you are being is who you are inside, how you see yourself, what you believe to be true about yourself, what your values are as a person. That shines through so brightly without you even needing to say anything or do anything different. And this is where we get into the good stuff, because if you feel like you've tried everything, if you feel like you're taking action and you're not seeing the results, there could be something within you, who you are being, that is actually out of alignment with the goal that you want. There could be a part of you that is scared to really put yourself out there. There could be a part of you that feels angry and frustrated and bitter about all the hard work you're putting in with no results to show for it in this goal. You know, there are different parts within you and who you are being that are permeating your physical reality, because if you're made up of energy, your energy impacts other people, your energy impacts your environment. If there's parts of you that are scared, if there's parts of you that are angry, if there's parts of you that are disappointed or bitter or, even may I say entitled, that energy comes through in your presence at that call, at that interview, during taking that action. And that is what I mean when I'm like, these invisible, unconscious elements are impacting your results. And it might be that you don't need to just work harder. You don't need to just suck it up and get on with it and keep going and, you know, work even harder, work even longer. Because like I said, if everyone who worked harder and longer in the world, if that was the true ticket to manifesting your dream life, to creating success, then you would already have it. If you're someone who works so hard. You know, there are people who work 12-hour days who earn minimum wage. That simply isn't how it works. It's those underlying invisible elements that are at play. A person's conditioning, you know, if we even take this wider and look at things like someone's upbringing, someone's culture, someone's conditioning, the limitations that have been placed on someone. All these things are at play, and these are all stored within you. How you see yourself, what you believe is possible for you. This is all stored within you. 95% of your results come from your unconscious mind. And so this is where we need to look at, this is where we need to go in order to make the difference for you, so that the actions you're now taking, that you may have been taking for months without really gaining any traction, actually start to shift, actually start to move the needle, actually start to create that momentum and move you forward. And that, for me personally, is where I really see that magic light up within a client, within someone in Next Level You, when this magic starts to unfold and they almost feel like all they've done, quote unquote, right, all they've done is go inwards and look at themselves and reflect and set intentions and be open to being guided by the universe and all this invisible magic that is happening. So if you feel like you need to just work harder and just sacrifice and burn out and, you know, go more, go faster, go longer in order to create the success that lies at your next level, I'm here to say that it's not required. And that's not me saying don't work hard. That's not me saying you can like create a vision board and then sit around on your bum and do nothing and then everything's gonna happen magically. No, not at all. Because I know you, because I see so much of myself in you. If you know, have a work ethic, if you love taking action, if you love working hard on your goals, I see myself in you because I am that way too. I love to get into the nitty-gritty action steps to move myself forward. And I know that there's always a level of which I have to realise that this isn't about simply working harder. This is about reprogramming what I see as possible in this situation, my beliefs, my values, my self-image, my identity, who I am being, how I'm showing up, my energy, my attitude. All of these things create way more momentum when I combine the action steps with that. And I would wrap this up and finish by sharing that with that in mind, the belief you have around needing to work harder in order to be successful, or in many cases, in order to feel worthy of success, needing to work harder in order to feel like it's possible, in order to feel like, oh, gold star, you can have that now because you've burnt out, because you were the one who arrived first and left last. A lot of us have that conditioning, a lot of us have that programmed into us. And that is one example of one of those things that's underlying, unconscious, that we need to clear out and change. We need to clear that shit and choose again. We need to think about, well, how do I want to feel about work? Because I know that something I've had to really intentionally step into in my business is work gets to feel like play. It's not so fucking serious all of the time. Work gets to feel like play, and the more fun I have, the more money I make, the more creative I allow myself to be and express, the more my business grows. And it doesn't matter whether I'm speaking to you as a business or whether I'm speaking about your career, because you get to play and try on and ultimately program in and step into new beliefs around work. That resting makes me more successful. Working smarter, not harder, is my ticket to my next level. Hustle isn't required. Because so often that is the reality. It is true. It's like not always about what we need to do more of. It's actually about how can we work smarter? How can we clear things off our schedule? But you can't get there you can't get there in terms of however that practically looks for you in your career, setting boundaries, getting more help in, bringing on more team members, delegating more in your role, upskilling so that you're really specialist in this certain area so you can just thrive in your zone of genius. All of those practical shifts and changes can only happen if you remove that ceiling. Because that ceiling that I mentioned way at the beginning is your mind, is your conditioning, is your programming that says, oh no, you're not allowed to pass go, you're not allowed to reach for this next level unless you work harder, unless you sacrifice more. I remember I used to really feel and believe that if I was to reach the ultimate level of success that I desire in my business, that would cost me my relationships, right? That would cost me the key, like my social life, my romantic relationship. I would have to sacrifice a certain level of connection and closeness and love with the people in my life that I love. Because I'd received this conditioning growing up from society that to be a successful business owner, to be a successful CEO, it's like, it's lonely at the top. And we've really got to have discernment and question, did I decide to believe that, or did someone tell me? And if someone told me, who told them? And who told them? Like, who the fuck is deciding these rules, these conditions of success? Because I opt out of that. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And you get to choose how it's going to feel when you reach the next level of your life and your success in your career, in your finances, your personal finances, in your new home, in your romantic relationship, in your social life, in your health and fitness. You get to decide how that feels for you. And you get to throw out the window these outdated beliefs around sacrifice, around hustle, and around just working harder to be deserving of it and to get there. So I hope this episode has shifted your perspective on what might be underlying, like I said, invisible under the surface. If you feel like you're working really hard but you're not seeing the results you want, if that is you, then Next Level You, my signature group program, is going to be a perfect fit for you. I mean, especially if you're an action taker, right? Especially if you know you're ready to put the work in to do this deeper inner work, so that 95% of your unconscious mind, your mindset, your energy is so on board with you creating the next level version of you and the next level of your success in all areas of your life. It's so on board, it's so in alignment, it's so confident and clear that the action steps are just, quite honestly, easy. Like it's not always going to be easy. It's sometimes going to feel scary to take action. It's often going to be out of your comfort zone and therefore uncomfortable. But what I mean is, it happens with ease. It flows. Your actions, you're being guided by yourself. You're trusting yourself when you're taking action. So it feels lighter. It doesn't feel like everything is so serious and heavy and exhausting. That is not the vibe. Hustle is not required. Sacrifice is not required. So check out the link in the show notes if that resonates with you, because I would love you to discover this program. The doors close on the 28th of April, and this is the last round we're running this year. So if you're interested to find out more, I wouldn't wait around, because we've got a couple of weeks now before the doors close, and I don't want you to have to wait all the way through to the beginning of next year, 2024, before you start doing this invisible under the surface work that is going to monumentally shift and move mountains in your physical world, in your reality. And this program is like 10 plus years of deep fucking healing work, spiritual awakening, manifestation, uncovering, discovery. It's 10 plus years of a body of work that I have created and cultivated, not only in my own life, but in the lives of the hundreds of other women that I've worked with to help them manifest their goals and success. I've worked with women in business, I've worked with women in corporate, I've worked with women who are stay-at-home mums, I've worked with women who are studying. It doesn't matter, right, what stage of life you're at, what goals you have. This program is an investment in you. because ultimately manifestation is an inside job. You are the one in how you are doing things and who you are being. You are the magnet that is attracting in your success. So come join the program and let's start manifesting and creating your dream life and your version of success without you burning out and sacrificing the other elements of your life. That's not required. And so I'll see you inside. If you want to jump on a call or DM me your questions, you can just reach out and I'll speak to you soon.